It was around 2 a.m. when I got up to lock the Starbucks I had worked at for the past 6 months. The lights were off, the machines were silent, and the storm outside only added to the quiet eeriness of the place. Grabbing my bag from the counter, I was ready to leave when I saw him. A tall, lanky man wearing a cap, standing right inside the cafe with me. I froze. He hadn't made a sound. I didn't hear the door open, no footsteps, nothing. His face was shadowed in darkness, just a dark silhouette, motionless and silent. My heart nearly gave out. With trembling fingers, I flicked the switch to the light above the counter. The dim glow poured down onto the floor, barely touching his face. We're closed, sir," I said, my voice more confident than I felt. He scratched at his rough beard, letting out a strange smile, one that didn't quite reach his eyes. "I'm Miles," he finally spoke, voice low and weirdly calm. "Mr. Newman reported an issue with the coffee machine. Something clicked. Our manager, Newman, had mentioned that someone might come by to check the faulty machine. Still, everything about this man screamed wrong. My gut twisted. Still cautious, I called Newman. "Hi, it's Tiffany. Just confirming. You asked Miles to come fix the machine, right?" "Oh, okay, thanks." Reluctantly, I hung up. So it was legit. I led Miles behind the counter to the coffee machine. He gave me another crooked grin and pulled out a screwdriver and cable cutter. Still, my skin crawled. I couldn't explain it. Something about him felt unsafe, even if I just confirmed he was sent. Maybe it was a trauma response. Maybe just paranoia. I sat on a nearby chair, pretending to scroll through videos while silently keeping one eye on him. That's when I noticed it. Every few seconds, he glanced at me. Just brief, sharp flicks of his eyes. I tried to brush it off, but then, "How long will it take?" I asked casually. He stopped. His face turned slowly toward me, just under the glow of the light above. His left eye twitched, and there was something dead in his expression. "Why?" he asked. "I thought you were enjoying my company." My blood went cold. His tone was wrong. Not joking, not sarcastic. Just convinced. "I'm just really tired." I forced a smile. He mumbled under his breath. "Women shouldn't work so late at night. It's not safe, you know?" That was it. I snapped a photo of him secretly and sent it to Mr. Newman with a text. "Can you please call him and tell him to come tomorrow? It's really late." Newman replied a few minutes later. The moment I saw the notification, I clicked and froze. That's not Miles. Miles is my niece, Tiffany. I sat stiff, unable to move. He wasn't a repairman. He wasn't supposed to be here, but he was here with a cable cutter in hand. Panic clamped down on me. Couldn't make a scene. I couldn't run. He'd reach me before the door. I texted Newman again. "Call 911, please." Then, I had to wait as if he'd heard my scream in my mind. The fake Miles spoke, still facing away from me, messing with wires. "Is that your boyfriend? The one texting you?" I swallowed hard. "My fiancé. He's just worried why I'm not home yet." Pretty caring. Good for you." He smiled to himself like that was completely normal. Trying to keep him talking, I asked, "So, how long have you known Mr. Newman?" "Oh, I don't. I know his niece. We dated for a while." "His niece, Miley, the one who got a restraining order." My heart felt like it would explode. He smiled again, turning toward me, the cable cutter glinting. Then suddenly, a scream from his lips. I looked down. Blood. He'd sliced off the tip of his finger, but he didn't even flinch. He brought the bleeding stump to his lips and began sucking the blood, eyes locked on me. Calm, vacant, smiling. "You need a hospital," I stammered, standing up. "Let me call," he interrupted, smiling wider. "I think you already did that." And then, like nothing had happened, he picked up his finger, walked to the door, and said one last thing. "Tell Newman I'll always love Miley. Oh, and he should really get a new coffee machine." Then he disappeared into the night. Story 2. The man in the rain. The storm raged like a beast outside. Rain slapped the Starbucks windows with violent persistence as I wiped down the counters, exhausted and ready to clock out. Only a few minutes more and I'd be freed. That's when the knock came. Loud. Urgent. Desperate that I jumped at the glass stood a man, drenched head to toe, hands slamming against the door. Please! I left my wallet inside. His eyes were wild, frantic. I hesitated. The weather was brutal and he looked genuinely panicked. Against better judgment, I unlocked the door. Big mistake that he stormed past me. Wet coat dripping, leaving muddy puddles as he moved. But instead of looking for his wallet, his eyes darted to the security cameras. Then the exit doors. I knew then. He wasn't here for a wallet. Where did you last see it? I asked, trying to stay calm. He pointed vaguely toward the seating area, but his eyes never left the back door. When I tried to slip out, I found it chained from the outside. Panic set in. He pulled out my phone from his pocket, tossed it on the counter, smirking. We're gonna play a little game, Lily. Hide and seek. You get 30 seconds. I didn't wait. I ran. Feet slipping on the tiles, I ducked behind the counter, crouched, heart hammering. His boots scraped the floor behind me, screech. His blade dragged along the metal surface, teeth clenching. Then silence. I peeked. He was gone. I crept toward the restroom. Under the sink, there was a landline. If I could just... Then, in the mirror, I saw him, right behind me. Boo! He whispered. I screamed, swinging a metal tray at him. It slammed into his arm, the knife dropped, and I ran, toward the back, toward the walk-in freezer. The cold punched into me, but I crouched behind milk crates, breath misting in the frozen air. Footsteps again. His voice floated in. Think you're clever? Shivering in there like a little mouse. The handle shook. My blood froze. He was right outside. Found you. The door burst open. I attacked, swinging the tray into his face. He lunged. His blade sliced my arm, hot pain flooding through. But I used it, fuel to escape. I stumbled into the cafe, blood dripping, my eyes locked on the steaming coffee pot. He charged. I threw the scalding coffee in his face. His scream echoed through the empty cafe. I didn't stop. I grabbed a broken chair leg and smashed it into his knee. He collapsed, howling. I bashed the emergency panel. Glass shattered, alarm screaming. Eric crawled toward me, face burning, eyes wild. But I was out the door, into the rain, screaming for help. Story 3. Love brewed and madness. Rain poured down like it had a personal vendetta against the world. I was falling asleep at the wheel when I saw the glowing green Starbucks sign like a beacon of salvation. Inside, the cafe was quiet, just one barista working late. She smiled, warm and bright. Welcome to Starbucks. Her name was Rachel. She made a solid cup of Americano and cracked a few jokes while she worked. I chuckled back, tried to be friendly, maybe even a little flirty. Mistake. I sat near the window, sipping coffee. Rachel brought me a cookie. On the house. I thanked her, but then she started asking personal questions. Real personal. I tried to change the subject, casually mentioned my girlfriend and how I was planning to propose. Her face shifted, darkened. How could you do this to me? She whispered. What? You made me feel like you liked me, she screamed. Before I could respond, smash. The coffee mug hit me square in the head. I blacked out.